Recording in progress.
Someone messaged our Unpaid Regulars Instagram account and
What did they say?
They said, hey guys, there's a new open mic in Reading now at Shameless, and I went tonight really hoping to see you guys there because basically it was a disaster.
Oh, I didn't go Wednesday.
No, I know.
I didn't go.
I found out from her that you didn't go because she was like, it was basically a disaster. And just so you know, it's every other Wednesday. We just really love to see you guys there.
Was she a shameless person?
No.
I mean, that sounds a funny thing to say.
No, she was very shameful.
No, she was full of shame.
Yeah.
She's full of it.
No. If I had my phone on me, I'd give her a shout out because she's been listening to every episode. But
get out of town.
But she asked us to come.
She requested.
She
I feel
requested
like
our presence.
that almost feels like this is how Batman feels when he sees it in the sketch. It's like,
okay,
I'm loved.
They need me.
They need me. You think? Yeah, it's like you just kind of get sad. Batman gets just staring at the window, just
waiting. Like nights where the bat signal doesn't go out. He's like, oh, I guess everything's good.
No, it's cool.
That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
You want peace.
Things are turning great. I guess I'll watch a movie. I don't know.
Alfred,
Alfred, you got anything on
was there a light? Well, what if it's a clear sky? What if it's a clear sky in Gotham? They really rely on clouds to get a hold of him. It's like, we tried to reach you, but there was no overcast.
Yeah, Batman, where the hell were you?
I didn't
4
see
banks
anything.
were robbed last night.
There was nothing out there.
It just looked like a regular old searchlight. I thought you guys were trying to like signal in a helicopter. No, it was the bat signal.
Yeah, Batman, this is why we said we want your phone number. No, nobody gets my phone number.
We could make it so much. There's so many better ways to communicate nowadays.
And forget daytime crime. Like, good luck getting a hold of Batman in the day.
Batman's on Slack.
During the summer, that's got to be rough. You know, you get 16 hours of daylight. There's only a 4-hour window.
Okay, guys, the sun's setting. We can do it now. We're gonna.
There's a lot of flaws in the Batman system. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Or don't. I don't want the DC people to come after us.
Because they're scary. And the thing is,
DC fans are, yeah.
They are scary. They always wear pajamas.
Wait, is that a stereotype?
Dude, that's my stereotype of DC fans is perpetually wearing pajamas.
They're just always eating cereal.
Always such greasy hair, always in pajamas. And
oh, bro, you are starting.
They start every sentence.
am dead accurate.
Every sentence with correction.
Actually,
no.
No, because the DC
I absolve
comics,
myself from this beef. Like
No,
Mitch washing
I
his
don't.
hands of an Adolf joke. I wash my hands.
I can
making fun of
hey,
DC
I'm not worried.
fans.
I can outrun them. I got this.
Dude, as a Marvel fanboy, I'm all about it.
Yeah,
Although
it's not
this
hard.
new Batman looks incredible, I gotta say.
Oh, we're all gonna watch it.
I don't know.
Oh,
Can I?
I'm
Can
gonna
I?
watch
This
it.
that might be my hot take. Is
it.
I probably will watch it, but every time they redo, all you gotta, they just keep making it darker. That's all they do. It's like, oh, we're gonna be so emo. It's already emo enough. It's a, it's
Now it's Robert Pattinson.
Come
level
on,
emo.
dude. We already had you as a vampire. We don't need you as a bat.
It's primed for Hot Topic.
It
the
is
Hot Topic sales are just gonna go through the roof.
Those shirts are gonna be amazing.
See, that's the thing. I think that's what it is. It's like we could make a killing at Hot Topic. Yeah, that's how
That's
they're all
what
thinking.
the DC execs are going.
Well, that's what
their business.
If you go into actually, if you go into Hot Topic, it's like DC. You don't really. Is there Marvel stuff? I don't know. I don't really go into Hot Topic. Yeah, I was gonna say,
I only go there when I need a new vibrator.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, I was thinking of Spencer's.
No, that's Spencer's.
What on, Thomas?
Hot Topic's like, what the hell?
Holy cow!
Okay, yeah. Hot
I
Topic
think,
is
yeah,
basically American Eagle for goth kids,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, they
That's
are. But Spencer's and Hot Topic are the same, minus the sex toys.
To
It's
me,
just
yeah,
like the
they
next
are.
level.
Same
it's
branding.
It's the mushroom and Mario. It's a little level
Yeah,
up.
I remember I went to Spencer's as like a young kid because we loved this toy that some girl had, and my mom was like, "Where'd you get it?" And she's like, "I got it from Spencer's." And so as a
What
family,
kind of toy was it, Mitch?
Was it the gum
I-
that shocks you? Was it fake gum that shocks you when you try to pull it out?
I honestly I forget
'cause
what
I
it
had
was, but I remember just being like, "I need this toy," and then we all. I think it was like a bendy. It was like kind of a bendy. I don't know.
I'm not very
I bet
excited
it
with what
was.
you're describing about.
Mitch was
Yeah,
playing with
Mitch-
anal beads
yeah,
as a
well,
young child.
It was bendy, bumpy, and fun.
Yeah, it's like- and you stuck it up your butt. It was
I found it in her,
really
her
fun.
Yeah,
her
it would kind
drawer.
of like wiggle.
I was like, I need this toy, Mom. The snake she has is
It
so
came with a
fun.
lube.
God, I hate this conversation.
No, what was I? Oh, okay. Moving on from Batman real quick.
Oh, I figured we
Tinder-
had.
Tinder Swindler.
Yes, Tinder Swindler.
We've
Tinder
all
Swindler.
seen it.
I watched it in Mexico by
Oh.
myself.
Was that a
Gabs
scary
didn't watch
experience
Tinder
or
Swindler?
was just
No, I filled her in though. She she was out sunbathing and I was like, well, I mean, I need to watch something and everyone keeps talking about Tinder Swindler. And I was like, I'm just gonna watch it, but it was like I felt kind of obligated to watch it, like
Yeah.
the new Kanye docuseries. It's like I feel like I'm eventually gonna watch it. Everyone's gonna talk about it, but I don't want to watch
Yeah.
it right now. And that's how I felt about Tinder Swindler. So I was like, all right, I made a pact with myself. I'm just gonna watch it until I get bored. I never
Yes.
got bored.
that's the thing. That's the thing.
It is so fascinating, and you can't. And I mean, not that you would, but you really can't blame those women for getting it pulled. I mean,
No.
he was a master
Not at
level
all.
manipulator.
That's
I
the
was
thing.
like, I would have fallen for if it was like reverse, and there was like a
Uh-huh.
beautiful woman who was doing those things to me.
Exactly.
I 100% would have fallen.
I
for
thought the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the crazy thing because at the first you're like, these idiots. When they kind
it.
of
right when they open it, you're like, okay, these
you're
gotta
like,
be.
oh come on,
Yeah.
oh, and then you're like, you're like, oh, I feel bad for thinking that about you because
Right.
100%, if it was reversed roles, like a babe takes you onto a private jet,
Yeah.
and all these things, and she's a good mom or whatever,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, I'd probably still let it happen. Having seen Tinder Swindler,
I could still
and
be
being
swindled.
a married man with kids, I'm still not above falling for something like that. Like the daughter of a diamond billionaire wants to take me on a private jet. I mean, probably.
I mean, do I'm about to say something so mean. I can't say that. I can't say that about those
it was
ladies.
crazy because like everything was so tangible that he was lying about.
Right? Yeah.
You know, yeah, it wasn't just emails. It wasn't like I'm
Right.
the Prince of Egypt, and like
Yeah.
He
she
took
was in
them
the
on
jet.
his plane on a private jet. He had
Okay.
people around him, like a security guard. Like you only have that
Yeah.
if you're legit.
Dude, and like he fooled me for
Yeah.
the first 40
Totally.
minutes. I was
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with this billionaire?
Right.
He's
Yeah.
he seems like a really great guy. And I was like, because he gave her like $250,000.
Yeah.
Dude.
He was like, here's this money. Just get a credit card. And I was like, well, there's nothing really wrong with that.
Yeah.
But oh my
Dude, he knew
he's
he was
so,
he was
Big
gonna
old
get it all
Ponzi
back.
scheme, dude.
He was
Big
just,
old
planting
Ponzi scheme.
seeds.
oh my, he was so good at it, man. I mean, looking for the apartments together.
Oh, should we
Yeah,
give a disclaimer of like, hey, spoiler alerts for anybody who wants to watch? No, you know what? We're doing you a favor.
It's too late.
We're doing you a
Ship
favor.
has sailed.
Just listen to what we have to say.
And it's
don't
literally
go watch
called
it.
the Tinder Swindler.
Yeah, the title gives it away.
It's the
What
guy who rips
what
people off
This
on
could
Tinder.
be about. It's a pretty catchy title. I have to give it to him.
If you're
That-
blindsided by what
marketing
happens.
wise, brilliant marketing.
I was.
Tinder Swindler.
I was.
What did you say, Mitch? Sorry.
I was blindsided by it. It was like
Yeah.
when I was okay. Have you guys seen Hamilton?
Mhm.
At the very beginning of Hamilton, one of the first lines is me. I shot him or whatever. Like one of
Yeah.
the first lines is like I killed him. Right.
I'm
And
the
at the very end of
I'm the
Hamilton-
fool who shot him.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's like one of the first lines in the
Uh-huh.
whole play. And then when he dies at the end, I was shocked. I was taken aback. I was like, Hamilton.
He meant it?
Dude,
You do, actually, yeah, because of the play, but you actually don't know the history of it.
well, no,
That's-
that is. I love watching historical stuff like that because I don't know history, and so I'm always.
Oh,
I watched Cuba Gooding Jr.'s The OJ Show without knowing what happened.
Guys,
I was like,
I
does
don't-
he get away with this?
is he?
Like, yeah.
I mean, there's no way.
I mean, the glove didn't fit.
And the
This
hilarious
is-
thing. I mean, have you guys seen that show?
I actually haven't.
OJ?
Everybody's told me
Oh
to watch it.
My gosh, it's some of the most. I've watched it twice through. I watched it by myself one time, and then I watched it again with Gabby. It is so good, and I was so happy when I started watching it and self-assessed. Was like, I actually don't know how this ends. Like I was,
Right.
I'm a '90s kid, and I don't know the OJ verdict. Like, how did I escape that?
That is
And
actually
so I got to watch
wild.
the whole thing, and I got to be as shocked as the people of OJ's time.
What?
And I was
Of
like,
the 90s.
and I was like, now I get why they talk about OJ so much.
That's crazy. So you
Yeah.
actually didn't know anything. You didn't know
I
the
didn't know
verdict.
anything.
How
Nope.
did you? How?
First of all, I'm from a very sheltered family. You know,
Apparently,
I grew up in a Rush Limbaugh household. If that
Oh,
makes sense. Like,
okay.
a very pro OJ household.
We don't
You
talk
mean
about OJ.
that-
He is innocent.
OJ, the incredible running back for USC. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. The actor from Naked Gun.
Yeah, he preached at Joel Osteen's church one time. Solid guy.
Great.
Crazy testimony.
Love OJ.
Crazy testimony. Crazy. But then Hamilton was the same way. Sorry, I realized I distracted from it because I wanted to talk about Hamilton. But the same thing is like I didn't know how it ended. And so then when Aaron Burr comes out, he's like, "Oh, I shot him." I was like, "You bitch, you just spoiled the entire thing." And the weird way my brain works is I spent the entire rest of the play trying to forget that he said it.
Wow.
I was like, "Oh, he didn't mean really shoot. Oh, he didn't shoot to kill. He just shot him in the leg." Like I tried to convince myself that it wasn't what he said it was, and then obviously it was. And
he killed him.
He killed him dead.
Killed him super dead. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, my brain
one of the most crazy
forgets
historical
everything.
stories, dude. Just like two guys mad at each other.
Yeah.
Just go shoot each other.
beefing it out.
But like, like on a golf course. Like the idea of a pistol duel back then, it's like going to the golfing range on a Sunday morning.
Oh yeah,
just so weird.
Like it's like the equivalent today of like a parking lot punch out or something.
Yeah,
well, no,
but more fancy. It's got more class to it though. It's not just like, hey, well, shirts aren't just flying off and wife beaters being shown. And it's like. Yeah, we're going to meet under this part. There's going to be a man in a top hat holding a towel. I don't know. It's pretty interesting history.
We both signed a contract for this, so we're cool with the outcome.
This is fine. Well, all the times duels, I didn't know this, but like sword duels back in the day, it was actually just the first person to draw blood. It wasn't always like death. It wasn't always getting killed, but it was just like there was actually very gentlemanness to a duel. Not the last duel.
Like,
that's completely different.
I bested you.
I've bested. Yeah, exactly. It's like, ow, my arm.
Fine, you win.
God,
take my wife.
Do you have
Jesus.
a band-aid? God. Hey, buddy. Hey, sharpen your blade next time. That thing is rust. God. I'm gonna get tetanus.
I haven't
This is
got my
great.
shot yet, buddy. Thanks a lot.
They haven't invented tetanus shots yet.
This
You
sucks.
asshole.
Gosh. Yeah, you have to walk with just shame, having a little cut on your arm and.
Your wife's like, "What's that from?" Like, "Oh, nothing. It's
nothing.
Nothing. By the way, if another man comes and lays claim on you, you have to go with him." But never mind the cut. Never mind.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, man, that's history, dude. Wild stuff. I love that. Was my favorite subject in school was history.
Yeah,
and like learning about the Civil War, and it was like, did you know, like the first battle of Civil War was people had picnics up on hills, and we're like, oh, let's go watch the battle, and no one really died in the first. no one really died in the first one.
You guys want to go to the battle today?
Hey, having a picnic, just
Dude.
like. Hey, are we doing the same thing on social media right now, though?
Oh,
yeah, we are.
Zing, zing, zing.
Yes, we are.
Weird.
It's freaking weird.
Like, you look at through history, people like used to watch public executions and hangings and we do have a fascination with that stuff.
No, we enjoy watching
different.
other people get punished because it feels good to watch someone else get punished when we know that ourselves we deserve to be punished.
Interesting.
You know what I was thinking the other day?
Interesting.
When you point, really, like you're just pointing away from yourself when you point at someone.
Oh, go into that.
I mean, that's essentially the same thing. When you cancel someone.
In what context, though?
Like,
is it like if you see somebody weird in Walmart and you point at them to your brother, because you do,
right?
Like maybe secretly, you're pointing away from yourself? Because I feel like in that context, I'm
it's just
very much pointing at.
Right. But I
maybe
think
it is an insecurity.
I think it is a deeper thing. It's like,
deeper
oh, but look
insecurity.
at that guy. Now that guy is weird.
Yes.
I'm not weird.
Thank God I'm normal.
He's weird. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, sometimes it's warranted more than other times, for sure.
Absolutely.
I'll always point. I mean, the I don't really point at people in public anymore.
Yeah, it's probably a good
what I do is my wife and I have talking shit about people right behind their backs down to a science.
Oh wow.
We'll be like, we'll be like in the same room as somebody. Oh yeah, and then we'll just like turn our head and be like, wow.
That's amazing. That's a bonding moment. That's okay.
Gossiping with your wife doesn't count.
If it's between you two, it's totally bonding and chill.
Yeah.
God doesn't even. God's doing it with you.
Yeah,
actually,
well,
he's
obviously
like,
you can talk
whoa.
to your wife.
I mean, you know, the Trinity. He's right there.
I mean, you're the two become one. You're basically talking to yourself.
Just like, yeah, exactly. It's totally kosher. It's actually it's a thought. Yeah. That's all it is.
My favorite thing is when you're both experiencing like something shitty and you just give each other the look.
You just look at each other.
Of like.
Yeah.
and yeah, you had a 10-minute conversation in that moment of everything that went wrong. Yeah. I love those moments.
One of the best perks of marriage, honestly, is just judging people together.
I've heard that.
It's good.
I
You can do it. You can
I
start doing
almost
it,
said
you know?
absolutely, but I'm like,
Absolutely. I understand.
I've heard about this. No, you have that with friends though too. I mean, probably not to the degree of marriage, but I feel like if you got good friends, there's a lot of
You can give
one
them
of
the
those going on.
look.
The look.
Like, oof, one of these. Ugh.
But you're right. I think you're totally right. I
the
think every
bully.
time you're pointing or you judge, every time you're judging somebody is definitely stemming from a weird insecurity somewhere. Like that's the root of it. Somewhere in you are insecure about something.
Yeah. People love to watch other people get punished.
Yep.
Because it makes you just even for that moment feel like I'm not doing that. You know,
See,
I'm not getting hung in the public square.
I'm trying not to bring this. I don't want to bring this back up, but that mindset is more what I was trying to bring up last episode of the victim mindset. I know we don't like that word. I still think it is the most accurate word for it. Yeah. It's the victim mindset of it stems from that same thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, at least I'm not that, and at least I'm not that, and then it's those two things coincide with each other very well. Yeah. It's like, and you know how we're gonna fix it? We're not, but we are just gonna
crypto, bro.
We're not gonna fix it, but we can do the best we can
fix
do.
It? NFTs.
You can't get NFTs.
Bored apes.
Here's my thing: you can't control other people. Never be able to control other people. You can only control yourself. And that's my TED Talk.
Wow.
Thanks.
You're so chock full of wisdom.
You know, it comes with age.
Really?
Yeah.
The youngest guy
I think
here.
when I hit 21, I was just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, that is scientifically when you're smartest as an adult.
I get it.
You just get dumber from there on.
Yeah, actually, it's just a straight decline. But it was just like straight like enlightenment on my birthday.
Well, and plus with all the tats you have, like every tattoo, you gain another level of enlightenment.
And then it's like, when people ask me about each one of them, I'm like, dude, let me tell you a little life nugget that you didn't ask for. One time, I will say this was I was set up. I was at a coffee shop, and the guy, I have an 8 of spades on my hand, and he's like, what's the 8 of spades? He's like, what's that tattoo? I was like, oh, it's 8 of spades. And he's like, oh, why? And I was like, oh, well, I had a dream one time. He's like, oh, I don't have time. I'm like, he made me feel like an asshole for asking, and I was like, that sucked so much to be a part of that. It was so weird. He's like, oh, no, man, I don't got time. I was like, what? What are we doing here?
You asked me what my tattoo
I wanted to grab my
me.
coffee and leave. That's what I wanted to do. Gosh, I did not leave him.
This was a barista.
No, I still left him a tip. Yeah.
The barista did this.
A barista did it. So he charged me. He's like, what's on your hand? I was like, oh, it's 8 of spades. He's like, oh, why? I was like, don't ask why. Why is it?
You don't have time for the explanation.
Yeah, he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't want to get on it. I was like, okay. I think after leaving, I was like, oh, he was saying why condescendingly. Like why would you ever do that? And I was,
and they're like, well,
he did not want an actual explanation. But it is like, because tattoos, of course, always have meaning. They should. Well, not always. Some of them don't, but sometimes they do. And so when people ask about them, a lot of people ask about this because it's right on my hand, and I'm like, I don't want to explain that to you. It's too long of a story, and that you don't want to hear it. So,
or they catch you in the right mood, and you're like, buckle up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's,
I'm going to tell you the
it was
whole
weird.
Buckle up,
It was a
buddy
weird.
boy.
When you get into like customer interactions, I swear I walk away from every time. I always have an awkward encounter. It's at some point, like with those people. I'm like, with those people, with just baristas in general. There's always an awkward transition out, and that was one of them, and made me feel like a real ass. I hate feeling like a real ass.
Yeah, Evan.
Freaking douche.
It's not your fault.
God damn it.
He's the ass, okay?
He asked. The ass.
He deserves to be pointed at.
He asked.
Nailed
it.
Anyway.
What was the best or worst part of your guys' week?
Oh, let's see here. You guys take it.
Best part of my week?
Uh-huh.
I have an answer for that. I got a late Christmas gift. And two things. Late Christmas gift, I got a new pair of basketball shoes. The Giannis Antetokounmpo Greek Freak 3s.
You nailed his name.
Sweet.
I don't think that's how you say his name.
right over there.
You don't think? I think that's how you say it. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It feels wrong.
Giannis
Antetokounmpo.
From my Caucasian mouth, it's probably
what? It's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I think you just can't say it.
No, you're probably
it's
saying
against
it right.
the law.
Which
Yeah, so I got that.
Yep.
I also finished the Clawfist recently, which felt really good.
Yeah.
It was on the list. I was like, I had a vision, I had a goal in mind. And if you're listening at home, I'm not going to describe it to you. It takes way too long, but it's got some lights and some SNL posters and stuff. And yeah, and that feels really good. So I'd say that's the high, the shoes and the clawfish.
Being inspired is important. Setting yourself up to be in a room that you're inspired is very important.
It is, dude. Honestly, yeah. I got some I got a hot rod pick. I got an SNL poster, another SNL thing. I really like it. It's groovy, and the lights that change color. It's like when I'm working, I got a dumb, boring light on, and then when I'm doing stand up stuff for this, I got a cool light on.
You got your party lights. That is a great high for the week.
That is awesome.
Evan, best or worst time?
Best or worst time? Okay, are we doing like this week or last week that we missed? Or
it honestly doesn't matter, honestly. No one's going to know.
No one knows.
You can go from your 17th year of life and talk about a time.
I got my nose pierced. No, if you go, Avalon Trey, go for it. I have to think for a second. I'm going
to have a couple, but I don't know if they're like worth talking about, but Airbnb, we had some really strange Airbnb. So we had so every time someone books our Airbnb, it says so-and-so has reserved a stay with you. And it's like, yay. And then one morning, the first thing I woke up to, it just said, Karen is coming in 8 days.
That's
what it said. And it was so foreboding that I literally screenshot it and sent it to Haley, Phil's wife, because we have this thing of like we trauma bond over bad Airbnb experiences. And so I sent her, I was like, this is what I woke up to. It says Karen's coming in 8 days. And it was like, haha, like what are the chances that that Karen's gonna be a Karen?
Like an actual
Karen.
So,
the chances were 100%.
No way.
Yeah. So we had all 5-star reviews on our Airbnb. We had 20 5-star reviews.
Oh no.
And Karen leaves us a 3-star review. And she's like, yeah, first of all, there was no TV. Okay. It doesn't say there was a TV, and there's pictures showing the entire space. Also, use your laptop, Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
Like, if you're needing a TV, like see if there's a TV. So she docked us for not having a TV,
which you already said that you didn't have one.
Right. It says no television, and then this was the kicker. She said the Wi-Fi went out. This is in her public review to everyone. And she's like, the Wi-Fi went out, and I didn't ask for help, but it was just really frustrating that it didn't work. She was on the wrong network.
My goodness.
And then she roasted she roasted us for not having a sink in the bathroom. Guys, the bathroom is like 2 feet away from the kitchen sink because it's a studio. So there's a sink right there. It's just not on the inside of the bathroom. Yeah, anyway, she gave us a 3-star review. So that was awful. And that was like that, and then it took our 5-star rating down to like 4.8, like
Question.
1 3-star. Yeah.
Does Airbnb allow you to rank your people?
Mm-hmm.
Did
you
retaliate?
No, you can't retaliate. They set it up specifically so you can't retaliate. So
that's not fair.
So you don't get to see their review until you leave a review.
Did she put up a nice Karen front like thanks so
No, she did. She totally did.
Of course she did.
Yeah. And so I gave her 5 stars across the board, and I was like, we would host Karen again.
The Airbnb swindler. Karen.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She deserves her own documentary.
Yeah, let's go after her.
And then a few days after we got the booking that is our current booking right now, and it's this guy named Anna.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. It's 2022. I am not roasting the name.
No, I would. I'm roasting the name.
No.
It's a boy named Sue. Johnny Cash wrote a song about this. A guy named Anna.
Fine, guy. You can be named Anna, guy. Why it's suspicious is because if you get kicked off, it's just one of those names that can't be both.
No, it's
not even like Alex. Like Alex is tough for me.
Charlie. It's not.
No.
It's
Anna.
Anna.
It's literally it's a princess name. Like it's the girl equivalent to a girl being named William.
Yeah,
it's like you can't be Queen. It's like Queen William.
Queen Bill over here. And okay. Tell me about Anna.
So it's a picture of a guy named Anna.
Yeah.
The reason that raises suspicion is because if you get kicked off of Airbnb, then you cannot get back on. Like it's attached to your Facebook and your driver's license. So my suspicion is that he's like been kicked off Airbnb, and he's using like his girlfriend's name, but it's a picture of him so that you're not shocked when you see him. So that I was already up in arms a little bit when it said Anna with a mustache has booked a stay with you. And he says in his thing, so it makes them send like a message whenever they book, like, hey guys, just passing through, excited for the space. Yeah. And this guy goes, he goes, hey, my girlfriend and I DJ and refurbish furniture for income. Don't worry, we won't be refurbishing any furniture while we're staying with you, but we will be playing loud music.
But the DJ part is important.
It literally said, I wish I had my phone's recording. I would have read it to you verbatim. I read it to Mitch yesterday.
Oh my god!
Like, I'm not exaggerating. Yeah. It says we DJ, or no, sorry, we produce music and we refurbish furniture for income. Don't worry, we're not going to refurbish any furniture. That's what I was concerned about.
I can clarify anything.
I swear to God, if I hear sandpaper.
Hey, is there refurbishing going on in there? I hear some refurbishing.
You hear
what is this,
paint,
sawdust?
The paintbrush.
So he starts that off, and then he's like,
"We will be playing loud music."
He's like, but it says that quiet hours aren't till 11, and we'll be done by 11. But if it gets too loud, we see you have a baby, which is extra creepy. Like, don't mention the baby.
You don't want a guy named Anna saying, "We see you have a baby."
Yeah,
we see you have a baby.
I'm a DJ for
your child.
What? Can we talk about this? What kind of like life paths? What do you do? I refurbish furniture by day and DJ by night. DJ refurbish. What would be your name?
DJ Furby.
DJ Furby.
DJ Home Depot.
Leather bound.
Yeah, and he's like apparently transient because I mean he
transient.
It means homeless.
Oh yeah, well yeah, no, of course that like transient. Name's Anna.
Okay, transient.
For sure. Transient as in, yeah, anyway.
Did you just learn in real time the difference between transient and the other trans?
I'm playing dumb.
Okay. So then he goes on and he's like, hey, we're stoked to stay at your place, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts just asking for all these weird requests. And I'm like in work meetings and my wife is replying to everything that he's saying. And she's like, yeah, totally. Sounds great. Looking forward to me. Oh. And then
is this how he sounds in real life?
What? I've never heard his voice.
Okay.
I think that was an impression of Gabby.
You're like, wait, Anna sounds like a woman? Interesting.
Just sound like a woman a little bit.
So I was like, no, it's great. Yeah, like sounds good. Can't wait to, looking forward to having you. And then he hits us with, if the music gets too loud, feel free to come over and tell us, or just come over and visit. We love visiting.
This guy.
Anna. Bro.
DJ Furby, though.
The way you said that was like, it was like, signed Anna. We love hanging. Signed Anna.
God.
Anna.
DJ Anna. Do you think he's from another country?
No, I wish. I would give him the benefit of the doubt if he was
because it
from
sounds like a very it sounds very sweet. So guys, come on over. It's like we
love to visit.
We make furniture and we DJ. It's the super normal where I'm from. Super normal where I'm from. Come over, hang out. If we love visitors. But if he's like a guy from Wisconsin, creepy.
Dude, I think he's just a dude from Chico.
Oh, yeah, dude from Chico.
He's like, hi.
There can only be like 2 Annas from Chico that are guys, max. So if he hears this, he knows.
A lot for one
there's probably none.
Yeah, he's the only Anna. Anna from Chico. It's a guy. He's a DJ.
So then last night, I see that I got another notification, and there was an image attached to it. I was like, why is Anna sending me pictures at 11 p.m.? And he said, hey, man, do you mind if I smoke weed? I have my medical card. And he's attached a picture of his medical card, which I had never seen before.
Right.
And also, so maybe he's obviously not from California, right? Because otherwise he would just
That's
light up.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not from California.
And I was like, dude, do you, bro? Do you? and I was like, yeah, smoke as much as you want outside. He's like, thanks. And then today he booked again. He's like, I enjoyed my stay so much, I'd like to stay again.
DJ Anna. Okay.
I was like, all right, Anna.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah. The story's over.
If he's a DJ, is he live streaming DJ? Like, why is he practicing? Why does the music have to be? I don't understand his.
Dude, I wish that I had my phone. I would read you verbatim what it said.
Does he just DJ to no crowd? He's like, yeah, I DJ. Well, it's not just more like it's more like the art of it. And I'm just curious. Like
he's like he just puts together Spotify playlists that he listens to while he's
and just turns them all the way up. Yeah.
He's like, I DJ for myself.
Totally a DJ. Yeah.
While I do these DIY Pinterest projects.
Yeah.
I got a couple very quick Airbnb stories.
Get in
On
there.
top of that one, I had a guest book from another person's profile, and we knew immediately because it was a guy, and he was messaging us from a woman's profile. So we're like, "Hey,
Classic Anna.
You're not supposed to do this. You can't book through another person's profile." And he was like, "Oh, it's my dead wife's Airbnb."
Went for the guilt trip. He went for the guilt trip.
What the heck?
Drop the D-bomb.
Is it real or was it guilt trip?
No. This is 100% real.
Like was his wife actually dead?
His wife was actually dead.
Oh no.
But the weirdest thing is he lived in Reading, and he described like why he wanted to stay by saying, "I want to have a romantic getaway." Oh. And I'm just booking from my
dead wife's
She can't be happy about that.
Man.
What, like with another lady or just like
with his new lady.
He's just spitting on her grave.
That is so that is so dark.
Yeah, sorry. That's kind of
if I were
bad.
that ghost,
using
Dude,
your
I would
your
haunt his
past
ass.
wife's
Shit out of that
Airbnb
Airbnb.
profile for a roman. Yeah, this is awkward, but
I'll go on the record and say, like to my wife, babe, if I die, use my Facebook profile to book Airbnb or move on. Do not do both.
How is he justifying? Like, she would have wanted this. No, you don't understand. We had a very cool. No, she would have wanted it. She would have loved this.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's pretty dark. Sorry to bring the mood in that
doesn't
direction.
bring the mood down. That is really funny.
that brings the mood up.
Yeah, actually, this is what I wanted to talk about.
I got one more quick one.
Yeah,
though.
please.
Literally tonight, we had someone come right as we were recording. Right, we saw them pull up. They have already left because it was too loud because of this podcast.
Let's go.
No way.
Wait, are you serious?
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, they had a newborn, so it makes sense. But
Do you think was that going to hurt your review?
No, it's good.
No, they're
hurt his
fine.
relationship with his wife, though.
Sorry.
And
Babe.
Haley's gonna be pissed.
we gave them a refund. I mean, it was 7 o'clock. Like, it's not early time.
Dude,
Yeah.
what was the loudest thing we did? Now I'm self-conscious.
Yeah.
Wow,
Now I start whispering. So my joke for
No, I literally told
Was it
Haley,
me?
I told Haley, I'm like, we are talking in very normal voices.
Right.
And also, it's 7:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So
Also, but just not related. Make sure you cut out the loud parts of this podcast so that when Haley listens back to it, she's like, "That's who it was. It was Evan."
we were so quiet.
This was actually our whisper episode.
Just we cut back to a hot take, and I'm just like,
Evan screaming about hunting in Montana.
The actual F? What the F? We're just actually roasting. Actually, we cut back to we're just yelling about how much we hate Airbnb guests. I hate them. I hate them. Honey, I don't think we're welcomed here. We got to get out. They're roasting Airbnbs. Oh my gosh. I had no idea that about the profile stuff. I've always thought if I ever come into any sort of financial stability in the near future, that I would love to Airbnb some stuff. So I got to get. Yeah, I'll have to have a good. I didn't know about the whole profile thing.
Just don't get kicked off of Airbnb.
I'll try. I will do my best.
But my Achilles heel, I love DJing and I love refurbishing furniture.
And it's don't worry, I can't multitask. I won't be refurbishing, but I will be DJing. I like how he had to warn you. He's like, don't worry, we're not doing that. Because my first thought is like, we're not going to touch your furniture, okay? As much as I'm going to want to touch your furniture, I won't. All right. I'll keep
Sometimes I can't help myself, but I as long as I'm cut up on my medication.
If you see some cross stitching.
We go and everything's just painted.
Just like, oh wow.
It's like, sorry, we refurbished a little bit. I'm so sorry.
We wanted to help you guys out.
We felt it needed a little Pepto-Bismol pink.
Yeah, just Something here.
Last Airbnb story I'll share. So this one is lucky because it's a separate unit. So basically, most of the time, we never even see the guest. They're in. They use a keypad to let themselves in. They let themselves out. They check out. They say, "Thank you so much for this day. Great space." Like, that was a wonderful transaction. But when we first started Airbnb, and this was before we had the baby, so we like lived on the edge a little bit. We Airbnb 2 bedrooms inside our house.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was wild. But Gabby and I are extremely extroverted people, so we like looked forward to like meeting new people from all over the world. And so we hosted 200 stays, and 3 of them were very weird, which is not a bad percentage.
That's a really good percentage.
But there's this, but the worst one ever was this guy named Chuck.
Yeah.
And so we leave a complimentary bottle of wine in the rooms, just
So
as a
sweet. That's
neighborly
good. You guys
gesture.
are good hosts.
Yeah, we are.
I can just
Yeah.
tell.
4.9 on Airbnb. Check us out.
Let's go. Hey, Karen.
Yeah.
Read between the
Despite what
lines.
Karen may say.
Right between the lines.
Goodness gracious.
What if Karen's like one of our listeners?
She's like,
oh no.
well, she's like,
She's the girl that was at the open mic.
Yeah.
That was
She's
messaging
I
you.
had no idea what I did.
She's like, huge fan
So-
of your comedy, not your Airbnb.
No TV.
She gives a 3-star review on Spotify.
Oh, they'll rule the day. They'll rule the day. So tell us about Chuck.
So Chuck was a nice guy. I walked into my house after a long day of work and expecting the Airbnb guest to be in his room, because that is what he's reserved, is a room. I walk in, our garage door leads into the kitchen, to a full-grown man at our sink, and he turns around and sees me, and he goes, "Holy shit!" I'm in my house.
Yeah, you're in your place.
He just acts like I've invaded his space, and I was like, "Likewise, sir." Like, and so I freaked out, and so he's like, "Sorry, you scared me." Imagine Harry Carey. That's the energy.
How old
for
was
sure.
How old was Chuck?
Oh, he's probably 37.
Oh, wow. I was picturing much older.
Yeah, I was thinking like 58.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Harry Carey is. He's probably 37, maybe 42. One of those two ages.
Right. Could not be between.
No, not at all.
One or the other.
And so I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" He's like, "Oh, sorry, you just scared me so bad." And then I instantly realized that he was like drunk, like very drunk.
Chuck.
It's 5:30 p.m., Chuck. So he's like, "Oh, sorry, it's just I'm feeling a little. It's that bottle of wine you gave me. It's I was like, "Oh man, all right, well, enjoy. It's yours. Is there anything else I can get for you, Chuck?" He's like, "Oh, no, I was looking out your window, admiring your beautiful yard." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So he goes back to his room. We have friends over that night, our friends Dave and Katie. They come over for dinner. And I'm cooking like tacos or something on the stove. And I had just listened to a podcast. And I'm serving them $2 Chuck, like the Trader Joe's wine.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like can't go wrong with $2 Chuck."
Can't believe this situation. The fact that
It's real. And,
unbelievable.
and I said, I had just listened to a podcast about the origin story of $2 Chuck. I was like, "Do you know how $2 Chuck got its name?" And then Chuck enters the scene and goes, "I do."
Behind is a door
turns
still
the
closed?
corner.
Oh, he came out.
He comes into
He's
the kitchen.
out of the
He's in
den.
the corner. He's like, "I know how I got its name." And I was like, "Oh, hey." He's like, "All right, so it's weird you should ask, because my name's Chuck, and everyone loves $2 Chuck. Sometimes my friends call me $2 Chuck. And so here's how $2 Chuck got." And it's like, "Hey man," and he starts like going on. And I was like, "Hey man, hey, we're good. We're just having time as friends right now. Can you?" And like my friends are like dead quiet. My wife is just sitting there like, "What is happening?"
comes Chuck.
And I was like, "Hey man, we're just actually hanging out as friends. Could you go back to your room? We're just like hanging out." He's like, "Okay, well, I really want to tell this story."
He's like, "No, please stop."
Yeah. And then I was like, "No, I know, we're good. We're good." That's all I could think to say in the moment. I was like, "We're good." And he goes, "Hold on, I'm just gonna tell the quick version of the story." And then I go, "Chuck, go back to your room."
You're grounded, Chuck.
My friends were horrified. They're like, "Oh my God." And so he literally stomps off to his room and slams the door shut.
Oh, that's scary.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Scary Chuck.
Scary Chuck.
You got
so now
Chuck
there's
mad.
an angry drunk man in my home, and then the next morning he checked out and he's like, "Hey man, sorry about last night. I vaguely remember making you and your friends uncomfortable. It was just the bottle of wine you gave me."
You're like, Chuck, you had much more
so
than my
the
bottle of
kicker is
wine.
that I went into his room to like clean it, and there was an empty bottle of gin. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
all right,
it was.
Chuck.
The wine's not even unopened yet. It's just like bottle of wine is just looking
No,
at
sadly,
it.
both bottles were very empty.
Oh,
Man,
maybe I don't want an Airbnb for money. Maybe I'll figure something
well,
else out.
I can't
guess those are
recommend
small-
enough doing
small.
it with a separate entrance. Like if you can,
Yeah.
do it where they can't come into your home.
My Airbnb is just a bunk bed.
It's the bottom bunk.
I'm like, yeah, I'll put you up here. I'm going to be up top. Watch a lot of late night YouTube, so hopefully that's not a problem.
I don't like to wear headphones, so
I like to have the sound reverberate off the walls. I get more of it.
Like, are you
I can't hear
top or
very
bottom?
well.
Excuse me?
Are you top or
are you a
bottom?
top or
It's a
bottom?
simple question. Top or bottom? And do you like root beer floats? I'll never. Yeah, we went to this. Freaking root beer floats. We went to this. This is a student council. I think I told you about. I think I did all the stand about this, but a student council getaway trip. It was where we had all student councils of the state gathered to meet. It was the worst event of the year. Let me just tell you that. The student councils are not a fun crowd. We'll just go with that. We'll go with that. But the kid we stayed with, his family was this ranch family. They were the sweetest people. I mean, like, so kind. So me and my friend Ben, we were like, going to bed, and the mom comes in. It's like 9:30. She's like, "Made you guys all root beer floats." We're all seniors in high school, and you can't say no to a root beer float.
Right,
and
right.
it was like I went to bed those 4 nights with a root beer float
Every
and became
night?
accustomed. I loved it. I was like, this is what you should go. I mean, it's absolutely not what you should go to. Like, caffeine and sugar is absolutely not what you should be drinking. But it was like that's the best nightcap ever. Just like, hi guys. I mean, like, this kid is, probably gonna have some health issues later. But for a little vacation, a country mom who makes the kids root beer floats.
Nightly
good
root beer
That
floats.
sounds
It was a
incredible.
good memory. It's a good core memory.
That's not a luxury I've ever realized that I didn't have. Okay, so good news. Before we go into working through some material, I have good news. We have officially found a venue for the
Oh my gosh.
comedy show.
Let's go.
Bum, bum, bum.
Not Cedar Crest.
Okay, yeah, what do you got?
It's not Cedar Crest. It's Phil's house. It's his Airbnb.
Oh my gosh, this is
No,
fantastic.
it's upstairs while he has a guest downstairs with a newborn.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
No, it's this place called Viva Downtown Reading or something.
Cool.
And it's basically it's an art gallery, but it's really long.
Sick.
And the lights are like very bright. We'll have to turn all of them off and bring our own lamps and stuff. But it's literally a long blank canvas of a room, and then off to the side of that room is a bar, just an empty bar.
Really?
And they have 60 chairs already, and they said we can fit 100 people. We're gonna pack out. We're gonna get 100 people in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Both nights.
I love narrow.
Yeah.
narrow.
So it's gonna feel cozy
Yes.
and tight and just really. It's gonna be loud.
That's
in there,
important.
dude. It's gonna be loud. So
So the bar, I'm sorry, I shouldn't interrupt you. I shouldn't interrupt. Keep
No,
going,
go
keep
ahead.
going. I'm
What-
just so
what's your
excited. The bar, we are allowed to serve drinks and stuff through it?
better than us being allowed to serve
Okay.
drinks. Someone else, the owner of the venue, that's a nonprofit that benefits Reading culture and life. They have a liquor license, and they are
Let's
going to bring beer and
Go.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
That's
way.
huge.
So all
That's
the
huge.
proceeds from the alcohol sales will go to downtown Reading nightlife
Love it.
and arts.
Clipped. This is clipped. We clip this and we put this on Instagram to tell people.
Yeah,
'Cause that's sick.
and so they get all the proceeds of that, and then the door we get to keep to pay for the show, because the show is not going to be free, especially since we're recording it, and it's
Yeah.
going to take a little bit of work to make it feel nice.
Yeah.
But we have a venue. We're going to be able to pack 100 people. And then I met with Dave and Katie Mung. Shout out to them.
Sick.
And Katie has helped us plan all of our comedy shows.
Yeah.
So for those of you who've never been to one of our comedy shows in the past, it looked like it was just me and Evan putting it on, but behind the scenes there was always Katie.
That's true.
There was always Katie, like making the flyer, like talking to the venue owner, making sure. And so she's actually the one who found this venue. She went and talked to the owner and made it happen.
Oh
and
my gosh.
She is also
That's
going
so
to.
cool.
She's
Katie.
also going to be helping us network and get some marketing promos out there.
Sick. Oh my gosh, this is
and
great.
she has said, based on projections or whatever, she's recommending that we add a third show.
I was about to predict.
Let's
I was like,
freaking
I'm
do
gonna
it.
predict in my mind third show.
By the third night, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, so
sick.
it'd be on Saturday.
2 in one night.
Yeah. So it'd be just one show on Friday and then 2 shows on Saturday.
Oh, I love it.
Which
Oh, I
would be
love
great
it.
because, well, I've never performed back to back.
No, I have
before.
never either.
And
Oh yeah, dude.
And the
I'm
idea
getting
that
sweaty
like
hands.
we'll get to actually
Yeah.
work on that 20 minutes 3 times in one weekend.
Is that we're gonna do 20 minute? Yeah, 20-minute sets. Yeah,
20 minutes each?
love it.
And then Kurt Gabriel,
Let's go.
who will be on the podcast soon,
Yes.
will be our feature, and he'll be doing 10 minutes.
I love it.
And so that's an hour and 10 minutes, and then Josh, who's emceeing, I'm imagining between the transitions, between starting time and music and everything, like it'll be about an hour and a half show.
Oh, that's so good.
So yeah, so April 8th and 9th, get excited here in Reading, and we're at least gonna have 2 shows. And then we're gonna do a little bit more of a deep dive into the marketing side of things and see what capacity is like, because there's decisions to make there. And then if we hit 70% before at the 2-week mark, then we will add a third show.
That's actually super smart.
So there'd be a
that's nuts.
7:00 show on Saturday and then an 8:30 show on Saturday.
Fun. Oh, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So
Now I do have fire under my butt to write.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so-
and there it is. Okay, so I'll be writing this week. That's super. Dude. Trey,
It's been
first of all,
incredible.
thank you for putting all that work in. And Katie, thank you so much. I honestly just feel like I'm literally in the back seat of a car, and I'm like, where are you guys going? Okay. Like with this podcast, with
we
them.
don't know yet, but we're driving 100 miles
Dude,
an hour.
I feel like I'm in the trunk.
Yeah. You 100% are. The Cloffice, like, what's going on out there?
It's like, I'm going to fly to Reading. Whatever happens, happens.
We're definitely moving, right? We're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other business that I mentioned earlier that probably shouldn't be mentioned is under new management, and they seem a little less friendly than they were in the past. And to the point, they're very much more like, what's in it for us? Which I understand. It's a business. But, in Reading, I'm used to putting on events, and whenever you're going to bring hundreds of people to an event, them being like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to sell our product, and then you're going to do your thing. This is great. And this other business was like, well, how much are you going to pay us? It's like, we literally are broke and have no...
He's like,
We don't know.
You get to sell your...
We've sold 4 tickets
we
so
get to
far.
sell your alcohol, and you get to have this place crammed
Exactly.
full.
Which worked out for the... So anyway, so we might do smaller shows there in the future, but
Yeah.
for this particular one, it seems like it's just working out
That's
wonderfully.
cool to
So
build relationships.
we officially have a venue, and so that will be going out on all of our social media channels
that's
and whatnot.
exciting.
And we'll get to actually start inviting people to a place instead of just an idea.
Actually,
That's
I
so
had
cool.
I had a couple people just be like, "Hey, they're like, I saved the March dates in my phone." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna need to change those."
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Someone the other day
So-
was like, yeah, so I know you guys are performing March 19th and 20th. And I'm like, the only way they would have known that is if they listened
You're a
to the
listener.
podcast.
Yeah.
You did the thing. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, super exciting.
Notes.
So, anyways, we have a show. Do we have jokes to tell at the show? That's the question.
That's the real question.
That's the question.
We will. We will. I am a mad procrastinator, 100%. We all know this about me. But
We need to start telling Evan that the show is the day before
Yeah.
it actually starts.
I'll come
He's like, oh my
super
God, okay,
nervous.
I'm ready on the 7th. April 7th. You
Okay,
got
so
it.
it's like, okay, now so you can work on. I do have jokes. I think, like all the stuff we've talked about. I think that's one thing. I actually need to go back. It sounds funny, but I need to go back and listen to our podcasts because I think there are some, there's moments that I'm like the moments we came up with while just bantering. I mean, I would love to turn some of those into jokes, like actually write those out. Now, maybe that just stays as podcast material, and that's fine. but I do need to go. The idea of like I do kind of want to play around with if my 20-minute set had a theme to it would be cool, and if that theme was
Dakota Fanning?
Dakota
Question
Fanning.
mark?
It's like the question
Dakota
is it's just titled Dakota Fanning. That could be the theme. Could be fun. But yeah, I have a couple. I mean, if we're ready to pitch, I honestly, like I said, it's been a week not dedicated to writing that. But
Sorry,
I
guys,
do.
I'm a signed country artist, so it's just really hard to
I don't
find.
know if you guys know this, but me and Chris Stapleton are working next week, and I freaking wish that is my goal. My goal. I have like a couple artists. Chris Stapleton is at the #1 top of my. I'm gonna say it right to the camera for when I can pull this back. One day, me and Chris Stapleton are gonna have a song together. I will not be singing it, but it will be. I will help to write. I would love to write. Chris Stapleton, if you ever hear Unpaid Regulars, I'd like to write you a song. That'd be great.
Dude, I believe in that for you.
But I do have like a one stupid joke that could be my pitch, and maybe we could go off.
Let's
of
do
that.
it. We can do like 1 or 2 each, and then just workshop them.
Okay, cool. Killer whales. The white part not being.
Already love it.
I'm already in. When I was a kid, I very much thought that the white part was the eye. Like the whole white part was the eye. And when I got I bought a killer whales book out of the little. Oh, this would be a fun topic to talk about too, especially around elementary school. What were those called? The Scholastic Book Fair.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and how you were never allowed to buy the toys that came in them. Oh, Mom. But just like you always had the boring books, but then there was a really, really cool toy. I love that. Kids will never know the excitement of the Scholastic Book Fair. But anyway, I got this really cool killer whale book, and I remember when I got it, and I was like opening it, and then I kind of for the first time saw the actual eye of the killer whale. I was like, no. No way. I was like, I thought that whole white part was their eye. I drew a bunch of killer whales as kids. I went through themes of specific things I drew as a child, mostly related to fears. Tornadoes. I drew a lot of tornadoes for a long time.
Dude, I drew so many tornadoes and sharks.
I drew tornado.
No! Are you kidding?
I'm dead
Out of
serious.
crayon?
You start at the bottom and
dead
you're like,
serious. Okay.
But no, like I would draw like barns flying around
Okay,
and dark skies.
the
It was
carnage.
100% out of trauma from a Nebraska trip that we had. But like my parents have this book that's full of all of our old crayon drawings, and there's a section where it's just tornado. Tornado, tornado, and then when this is so sad, but when the Challenger blew up, I was very curious. They were talking about astronauts and what the spaceship was. So I just started drawing a bunch of space shuttles. So you'll go through the things like it's tornado, tornado, space shuttle, space shuttle, space shuttle, just themes. And one of those themes was killer whales for a while. But can we just take for a sec? You drew tornadoes too.
Yeah.
Was it more like just quick little doodles? I took like my time. No, I mean like shading, like the dust falling off the bottom, a little barn getting ripped up, a cow floating around. Like they scared me so much that the only way I knew how to deal with them was to draw them. And that really reminds me of like the Woman in Black, like the little kid like drawing the demon lady.
Gosh.
They were my demon lady. The tornadoes. I was terrified of the sky as a child. Terrified of it. I grew up in Montana. No tornadoes are landing anywhere. But that's a little deviation.
I grew up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Tornadoes constantly terrorized us every April and May. When I was 7 years old, you guys see the movie Twister?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was based in Oklahoma. That was set in Oklahoma.
Did that scare you?
And I
Didn't know that.
with my own eyes, saw the tornado that movie was based off of, the May 3rd, 1999 tornado. I was driving home from church with my dad, and the sky was dark, and there were sirens going off. And have you ever heard a tornado siren?
Oh, that's the thing. It is the most scary sound ever. It's like, I think I was just talking about this with Emma the other day. I was talking about like, why can't they just choose like a little less scary sound? And actually, that could be a good bit right there because I think that we talked about that, and I don't want to steal your joke, but that is literally like, it's like if it could just be like, hey guys, take shelter. Hey guys, take shelter. It's this. It's World War II bombs about to fall.
World War II.
It was our Berlin at midnight.
It's like, and it's just like could not look scarier outside. It's kind of greenish hue. Tornadoes are terrifying. Yeah, I hate them. I hate them so much.
So I saw the May 3rd F5 tornado, which is as big as a tornado can get, an F5. And I remember we were driving home from church, and my dad's like, "We gotta get home. We gotta get everyone in the bathroom, get under a mattress or whatever." I was 7.
Yeah.
I look up ahead, and the entire horizon is a funnel. The the entire
my heart
sky
rate
was. I'll never forget this. This was 23 years ago.
Yeah.
I will never forget the look of the entire. It looked like the entire world was one giant tornado, and I was like,
Can I
Dad?
ask? Did you have like nightmares, like night? Because I would have visual dream nightmares of tornadoes. They scared me so much because we got caught in a storm in Nebraska while driving, and they were, I think, 27 landed at one. Like, it was, that storm had 27 landing at a time. They weren't all huge, but they were everywhere.
Wow.
So we saw them. We had to make an intense U-turn to avoid one, and I was 3, so I was really little. So it terrified me of my siblings screaming, all that jazz. But then I think I've talked about the story, the movie of with Jake Gyllenhaal, The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So weather movie
great
scared me more
movie.
than any horror movie. Weather movie scared me more than any horror movie could ever scare me. I hate weather. As a child.
I hate weather.
Such a broad statement.
Yeah.
One thing I remember
tornado.
about my tornado, it was in Ohio, and the thing I remember, there was a bunch of rain and hail and stuff. We were all running inside, and I think I was 6 or 7 or something, and I said, "Oh my God," because I was terrified.
Yeah.
And my older brother Marshall was like, "You're not allowed to say that. You're going to hell."
Scariest moment of your life. You're about to die. You're going to hell. That's exactly that's about what you need to hear when this World War II sirens are going off. Dear God, I pray for my brother. May you bless him in hell, as that is surely where he is going. May this tornado swipe him up with justice.
Put him in the first or second level of hell. I don't think
God,
he deserves level 3
spare
or 4,
him
but
for using your name in vain. May this tornado end him quickly. Anyway,
that's what I remember.
Killer whales.
Killer whales. What a tangent.
Literally, I'm going to read this. Killer whales. The white part not being the eye, because you know how I write bullet points. Why do we call them killer whales? It's not like we call lions killer cats. I feel like whoever gave it that name lost a loved one. And I want to go into the scenario of the person being like, "Oh, this is the dolphin family. It's not just a whale." Okay, Tim. It's so stupid. It's a killer whale. Okay, buddy. Yeah. No, they're killers. I don't know why, but just nothing else in nature is named killer cat, killer dog. But the whale, it's a killer whale. The guy who's just naming him, he lost a loved one.
I picture that guy, if you're acting him out, I picture him his face is either turned away or his back is to the audience or something, as he's like, "It's a killer.
It's a killer whale."
What?
What? I'm sorry.
Whale.
It's in the dolphin family. It's a killer. It's a killer whale. Yeah, just they're studying them and they're out on an Arctic expedition.
Uh-huh.
Timothy, row out there. See what that animal was. Just comes up, knocks his boat over, kills him. Dude, we have. Do you have a name for that animal? Yeah, I have a name. Scientific. Orca. Common. Killer. So dumb. Oh man.
No, it's good because there's literally nothing else in nature called killer.
Just not even OJ.
No. You don't say, killer convict or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe some people would.
They
are killers. They're brilliant.
That's a murder bat.
I'm going through my jokes real quick to see if I have. This is a video I made that I don't think anybody's seen it. So it's an idea that a buddy.
It's got zero.
It's got no views. It was we made it for school. I think this was created with me and my buddy Nick Lundquist. But I want to say it derived from a voice that I do. It's a really uncomfortable voice, so buckle up. It'd be like when you're being bad. Oh no. This is how this voice goes. It's like if you've had too much sugar. It's oh no. I've had too many calories today. I shouldn't have had. I'm gonna be up all night with the amount of sugar I had. And that's that voice is, and it's whenever you're doing something slightly bad, but not that bad. But it's uncomfortably sexual. And we came up with this idea called dirty sleep talking. And it's when you go you stay over the night at a friend's house, and then you're like, all right, hey, good night, man. Hey, good night. And then it's been quiet for a while, and all of a sudden you just hear this. And then you just try to roll over. You try to roll over and avoid it, and then it's just like, oh no. And then as the other friend is like, and he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna do that? And then the other friend tries to shake him up like, hey buddy. He's like, oh no, and he's just getting shaken up. Oh, don't do that. No, don't. I'm so bad. I'm so naughty. And then you finally wake him up, and he's like, yeah, what's up? Hey, what's up? And I'm just like, hey, dude, hey, man, you were sleep talking. You were sleep talking pretty loud. Oh, was I? Yeah, dude, if you could try to, just try to keep it down. That'd be great. Oh, see, I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you I do that sometimes. And then you just, you go back into it, and it's like, oh, Santa. And then, I don't know, it just goes into, hey, if you could choose a very specific topic, and the video was like, oh, Santa, stuff me with coal because I'm so naughty. But that's, it's just a premise. That's the dirty sleep talker. But we had ideas of like putting that character in like a sleepover situation, sleeping in a car on a road trip, and then just other parts where like falling asleep in a movie theater, like having him fall asleep in different areas. But it came up with this. It started with like just a really annoying like, oh, I'm so bad. It's a terrible voice. But I think like if you did it on stage, you could have a lot of fun with it. I think there's
my throat hurts from laughing.
It is extremely uncomfortable. Oh, anyway. So bringing that, maybe because I like characters, you could create, the character could be the dirty sleep talker. And
yeah.
But I've never known how to be like, and this one's called the dirty sleep talker. Maybe you could just
honestly could just
do that.
Yeah.
And this is a character I call the dirty sleep talker. And then just let it be quiet for like 30 seconds. Oh, no. I think it would hit. I think you could have fun with it. And so maybe I'll play with that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, dude. That's amazing.
Thanks.
I can't wait.
That could be fun. That could be very fun on stage.
Move to tears.
That could be fun on stage. So, I mean, it is more inappropriate, but it doesn't have to be. The thing is, the analogies don't have to be that inappropriate.
No, that's the thing.
Open my water bottle because it's too hard for me to open.
When you said stuff me with coal, I've been naughty.
Stuff me with coal. Yeah.
Genuinely, like it's funny because it's like it's dirty because of people's minds.
Making
like,
it
they
dirty.
make it dirty for themselves.
I didn't need to. Oh, your AirPods fully charged? Oh. Like, what? Is that sexual? It is now. Getting a call from my brother. Anyway.
In all fairness, I don't know how stuff me with coal
is not sexual. No, that one is actually hypersexual.
All right.
Oh yeah, the other line we have in the video is like, oh, you're strong from all the milky that you drink. In regards to Santa.
You know what? You said no one's seen that video. I've seen that video.
Have you seen that video?
I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, I think I put it on TikTok.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
It went nowhere, but
yeah, it's like part one, part two, part three, part four.
Yeah, I just
put
the whole thing up, because you never know which part of it's gonna hit. None of them did, and so I deleted it. But I do think it has, because every time I've done that, I hate to be, my friends like it, but it gets laughs every time you do that character because it is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So bringing him to stage could be pretty fun.
Yeah, no, I was actually listening to a comedy podcast the other day, and they were talking about how a lot of times for live comedy, discomfort makes people laugh so hard. Like, especially if you're like, it's uncomfortable, but you know what you're doing.
Right.
It's intentional.
You have direction. Yeah.
Uncomfortable, and you can give them a punchline or something,
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. The character there needs to be an arc. You can't just I don't want to just be like, and this is this character. That's where I'm wondering where you guys feel about like 100% authentic stories. Where like, dude, I had this friend one. Like if you said it as a premise, like he first of all was a loud talker. He never knew how to whisper, because this is kind of true. I had a friend that was on sleepovers and he never knew how to whisper. And I always said like, hey, whisper, and he's like, yeah, okay. So anyway, and then we just go so loud and you just start talking so loud. But like talking about different sleepovers, you could bring that into like maybe if you're talking about bringing it into an elementary school set, and like sleepovers, we don't really do that anymore. I had a sleepover one time where, I mean, the thing is, What do you guys think about stretching the truth on that? I mean, like,
dude, I am so pro
Stretch
stretching the
it.
truth.
stretch it. Yeah. I think it's a fun thing to do.
I mean,
in that scenario.
that's all stand up is.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, every single story is just an exaggeration of a story that kind of happened.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where I limit myself. I'm like, oh, it didn't really happen. I got to figure out how to. Yeah, but
I used to be the same way because I was like, I'm lying.
Totally.
It's like, no, you're not.
Just because the goal is to make people laugh
and to tell a story
yeah.
that even if it's not true in detail, it still is true in how it made you feel,
right?
Or how it's making the audience feel, or whatever,
right?
Yeah, and I think that at least most of my stories, even if I do stretch them a little bit, they're based in truth. And even though some of the details are exaggerated to be funnier, how it really happened still made me feel the same way as it happened in the fabrication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I think that I don't know if I could ever tell a story like, yeah, one time I went to this and did this and this happened.
Right.
Like if it was just a pure lie, I don't think I could do that.
Totally.
Like that never happened.
You know,
I've
Bali. Wanted to do that though. I've always wanted to be able to just make up a story incompletely, because that was always one of my favorite things. Like if you ever see it like at an open mic and they tell the story, like this one girl told a story about her cat for like 4 minutes, and then at the very end she was like, and the crazy part is I don't have a cat, and then she left, and I was like, how did you do that? Like how did you make up everything that happened? Because I'm with you, like I can only talk about stuff that's really happened to me. And so I've always wanted to be able to just lie.
I think there is a beautifulness to like your best material is going to be from experience. Like I 100% think that I love listening, and I always have like, oh, those comics are 40 years old. They've lived a lot more life than I have. They've lived it times 2, and they've traveled, they've done more things. And
no, but it can be a friend's experience. Yeah, my friend Dave told me he canceled his Feed the Children subscription.
See, that's
and so that's where I got my during COVID, it got so dark I had to cancel my.
See, that is good to know. That is actually good to know about, because I've had friends do some hilarious things. I'm like, do you just not take them, but like I guess play with the idea of what that thing happened.
Oh no,
no. That's true.
Unless they're a stand-up comedian and they are trying to turn it into a bit, then that's
that's where it gets a little that's theft.
And you're stealing. You're Dane Cook.
I'm like, so I was hunting in Montana, guys.
Wait a second. I'm like, you were? So gullible.
Evan's like, oh no, this better not be what I think it is.
How'd it go? Did you do it legally?
What'd you catch?
Mitch, do you want to go or do you want me to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. I got a quick one. And so something we talked about on this podcast was like working on stuff we've talked about before. And this is one of those moments, ladies and gentlemen. So a while ago, I was talking about this premise of the escape room, of doing this escape room with my family. And I listened to the podcast over again, and I listened to your notes. And cool. I've like rewritten it, and I'll do it exactly how I would at an open mic. And it's going to be terrible at times, but there'll be stuff there. That's all right. So my family, I have a bigger family. Like it's not like Catholic big, but it's big enough to where you feel neglected every now and then growing up, but it just makes you a little stronger, you know? But my family, something about us, we are not organized. We're good at playing games, but we are terrible when it comes to organization. Trying to plan something with my family is like trying to shop at Goodwill. You know, like you walk in there and you're like, hey, I just want some cheap pots and pans. What you got? And the employee's like, yeah, we got some pots and pans in the women's bathroom in between some croquet sets and some knockoff Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle dolls. I got to read this. Some knockoff Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle dolls titled Younger Than Adult Radioactive Karate Frogs. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you, I'm also looking for shoes. You guys have any shoes my size? Do you have regular sized adult human feet? Yes, I do. Then no, we don't. We have shoes for Shaquille O'Neal or a 7-year-old child whose right foot is slightly larger than his left. You know, it's a bit of a mess, but like, so it was really shocking that my family wanted to do an escape room for fun. Because if you don't know what escape room is, it is a room requiring you to solve puzzles to accomplish a goal within a certain amount of time. Which is nuts because we've never made a dinner reservation on time before ever in our lives. Like I'll be talking to my mom, hey, we said we'd leave at 7:30. That's in 2 minutes. How we doing? And my mom's like, oh, it's great. I got 10 minutes left on my hair to dry. Marshall is currently asleep. He needs 15 more minutes or else he'll be grumpy. Ellie and Gabby are on their way back from a church conference. They're 35 minutes out. And Mason's boycotting the event because he wanted Taco Bell. And it's like, oh, okay, great. And so we get up. We get up to this escape room, right? And we're there late, obviously. And this lady, she explains all the rules. And the second this lady leaves, it's as if everyone in my family turns into Nicolas Cage. And they're like, all right, you heard the lady. If we don't catch this SOB, he or she's going to be prancing their way to Prague. Home free! Quick, there are 8 wine bottles around the room. Gather them here. Put them in chronological order by year. There's a bear on one. We know the bear insignia on the wall means up. And the lock over there has 4 directions. We cracked the codes on the insignias. We cracked the lock. And my sister is like, hey, I found a T-bone steak with a knife in it. It's like, perfect. That means we know Mademoiselle Pan au Chocolat wasn't the murderer. After all, from reading her diary, we know she's a vegan. And it was frustrating how good my family was at this. We solved the room in less than an hour. We don't use any clues. We take some photos and I'm like, hey, that was amazing. Let's go home. And then we spend an hour looking for the car. We spend an hour and I just wanted to go back to the escape room at that point. I just, in there, at least things make sense. There are answers.
That's amazing.
So,
dude, well done. Way to write, bro. Good job.
That was the escape room bit. And yeah, I did to my wife earlier and she was like, that's like an actual bit that sounds like you. And I was like, cool. Yeah, I know. It does sound like me. So
yeah, 100%. That's awesome.
That's great.
But and a lot of those things were from you. So like the Nicolas Cage bit where I'm like, that was from you, Evan,
cool.
When you were like, I want to hear how good your family was at the escape room. And yeah, like all the
national treasure get.
Yeah, I love that scene. It's so fast paced. It makes you engaged with like what is this like the telling of the story of the bear and this and that that's you're gonna get a lot of laughs with that and like the finding that. The Nicolas Cage line that comes to my head every time is just grab the lemon juice. And I don't know why, but it's what they do to get the map. And it's like, we're going to need some lemon.
Oh my God.
We're going to need some lemon juice. And I just, if you could throw that in somewhere, I would just love that.
I forgot
just
about
like,
that.
We're going to need some lemon juice. And I'm just finding like actual moments from, because that's like the one thing everybody remembers about, maybe not, but I always like, oh, lemon juice. It reveals the secret.
I like how you're like, yeah, everyone,
not just me. Everyone, anybody who's a person. But Mitch, that's incredible, dude. That's great. I love the goodwill build up to it too, as well. That's a great addition to that.
Okay, here's the thing. I did this to my wife earlier. I originally said trying to plan an event with my family is like shopping at a Ross Dress for Less. And she said, no, you should do Goodwill instead.
I like Goodwill more. Yeah.
You like it? Yeah. I guess, see, because I view Ross as like a piece of shit. And just everything is a mess.
Several pieces of shit.
You're not wrong, but I feel like Goodwill is more jumbled. Like
and it's just more, way more chaotic. There's no rules. It's Goodwill. Like you can't complain to customer service that you're not having a good shopping experience. You know what I mean? It's Goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
You could even say that like there's just no one to complain to. Being with my it's like, it's like you want to complain, but who are you going to complain to? You're in a Goodwill.
You know what you're doing.
Oh, that's funny.
What was the line you said about the little feet? Like you said Shaquille O'Neal.
I said I'm also looking for shoes. Do you have any shoes my size? Do you have regular sized adult human feet?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, no, we have shoes for Shaquille O'Neal or a 7-year-old boy whose right foot is slightly larger than his left.
The first thought that came to my mind, and this is maybe we don't say this, but like for the little feet line was like, you know how ballerinas had to break their toes and like I don't know what that is, but it's like I don't know what culture that was. Was it in China?
I know what you're talking about.
You're combining two
China.
things.
No, it's definitely like China. They would break their feet.
So they
and they would have tiny feet. That is one thing. And ballerinas they just beat up their feet.
Their shoes were just
they just beat up their feet. I was literally thinking,
what are those Chinese ballerinas?
Chinese ballerina. Something with feet's just getting jacked up somewhere.
Ballerinas could never start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, no,
that is.
Yeah. I want to see ballerina feet.
I want to see 10 toes and 0 toenails.
I want to see the feet of a China woman born before 1982. Do you have that OnlyFans? You do?
The search bar is like arched feet, period.
Yeah.
I mean arched like a bridge, period. I mean, you don't understand how arched I want these feet. Enter.
The worst kinds of foot fetishes, the levels of foot fetishes.
I want McDonald's feet.
I want McDonald's.
I want double golden arches.
When you said McDonald's feet, I just pictured like the people that were ordering McDonald's in the flip flops. Like that's what their feet look like.
Yeah, either way.
Either way.
McDonald's feet are never nice.
The thing I pictured was like, I want to look at a pair of feet that looks like they've been stepped on for 16 hours for minimum wage.
Oh, no. So sad.
Oh, the lint from the socks just stuck between the toes. Anyway, Mitch, love the joke. That's
good stuff, man.
It's really fun. That's a lot of fast pace. I love the Nicolas Cage scene. I think it's the fast pacedness of it is super fun.
Oh, and I like that because it's like it's such a natural way to fit it in there as opposed to like, here's this impression. You know,
no,
I was gonna say
it
that.
makes sense.
I love that you got to work an impression into a legitimate joke that's part of an act, not just. You know, like you can always tell when someone's doing a joke just so they can do the impression, but this is like no, it's like. No, it is its own joke, but you also got to do Nicolas Cage.
Makes sense.
Well, and that's how all that's one thing that I wanted to talk about a while ago and I never did was how corny impressionist setup jokes are. Is how they're like, you know, the other day I was in Olive Garden and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be wild if Chevy Chase was my waiter? It's always like,
right. There's never a smooth landing. Landing the plane is the bumpiest way. Yeah,
that's amazing.
The ending of your joke, I was thinking. I mean, I love the comparison. It's almost like, but if the button could be like, we didn't leave until I told my parents, or until you had to trick them into thinking it was like an escape room or something. It's like we didn't actually get in the car until I hid the keys in another. Like maybe we don't do that, but like.
I was looking for. I think I'm still looking for the ending of it. I'm still looking for the punch. Because I feel like it's a good temporary punchline.
Yeah.
But there's something better out there. So it's like if I turn it in, I like start turning everything into an escape room to get like what I need.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Or even just saying like, I just wanted to go back to the escape room. You know, like
that's what you did say that you had that line, which was that's a really good line.
Yeah, like I feel safe in the escape.
I've never felt more. Yeah, it's like I've never felt more safe or seen or there's a play on words there somewhere with like the escape room being your escape. There's a play on words there somewhere. Cool. Trey, you got a joke for us?
What? Yeah. So I'll have to fly a little blind because I don't have a phone or computer thanks to my life right now. Yeah. No, but I
thought you were gonna say Alzheimer's. I was like, I'm in prayer for you.
Good God.
Thanks to short-term memory loss.
Diet Coke. Huh?
Thanks to Drew Barrymore syndrome.
Oh.
No, I
That's crazy.
Oh, I hate Drew Barrymore.
Really? That's your hot take. I used
to
not like her, and then I think she's so endearing now. I just
really,
I love her.
Drew's a national treasure.
No, I've always hated her.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, you don't deserve to be on TV.
Yeah.
No shade, Drew. I know you're listening. So my
I have to apologize to her in person at an after party later. Oh, embarrassing.
Basically, the premise is that having kids is like having tattoos. Like you think like I've always wanted to have one, but I always thought it'd hurt a lot, or something about being afraid of the permanence of it, and being like, yeah, like I finally made the decision when I was drunk.
That's great
to have kids, and then saying something like, yeah, no, it's great because it's like, yeah, it hurts a lot, but it's great for the Instagram, for the gram. You love it when your friends ask you questions about them. You know, you love talking about them and explaining their meaning. But yeah, true. Your arm is never the same again. It will never be the same again. Not to mention my wife's arm. and then just doing like her arm's the real hero of this story. But I actually, so the setup would be like having kids like getting tattoos on your arm. So then when you say, yeah, but your arm's never the same again, and then when you're like, yeah, and then your arm's never the same again with the with the kids, it's like vagina,
100%.
So
oh, that's what that was.
yeah.
I was trying to connect the dots.
And then even saying like, if that gets a laugh, being like, you guys are a smart crowd. You all knew that arm equaled vagina, and I think that's really special.
Gold star.
Well, dude,
All of you.
to add on to that real quick, like my brother always said, like your tattoos, we've like used line like your tattoos are always kind of like your child. Like this is my first tattoo. It's so crappy. But it's like no matter how ugly it is, you have to love it.
You have to convince yourself that
once
it has meaning.
You have it. You're like, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna choose you. I'm gonna choose you no matter
Every
what
day.
terrible decisions you make.
Right.
So there's a fun line in there. It's like you have to choose. You have to love it no matter how terrible it is.
Yeah. That's good.
That's
good.
a really fun comparison.
Yeah, well,
fun
so
comparison
it
to
comes
go
from the idea that like when I get on stage, I want to talk about how like it's great to be up here. It's actually been 2.5 years since I've done a comedy show, and my life was a lot different back then. It's a lot different. There so much has changed in the world since 2019, and then being like there's new presidents, there's new genders. I have kids now. Last time I was on stage, I told a joke about how I did not want to have kids, which is true. At Fratelli's, I did this whole bit about like how my wife and I are using a birth control called watching our friends have kids.
That's right.
And then 3 months
you
later,
can't
I
use
proceed to get my wife pregnant.
COVID, it'll get you.
COVID.
Lock in.
Something I was thinking about talking about kids and tattoos and all that stuff is you could draw a parallel because you were talking about how your first tattoo is like real shitty. This idea of like, have you seen people get tattoos when they're like 16? Oh, brother, man, they got tattoos everywhere.
Yeah.
And those tattoos do not look good.
They always end up with 8 or more tattoos.
yeah.
If you start early.
Oh, dude, literally, my brain was. I was like, yeah. It took me forever to catch up what you were saying. That is a fantastic parallel. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like 16 and
Teenage tattoos, those aren't fun, right?
yeah. No, my mom had it. And it was like, believe it or not, my mom had a teenage tattoo.
She had her first tattoo when she was 14.
And the
It's a lot more common in the Middle Ages.
The family shamed her for a while, but they came around. It's really grown on them quite a bit.
They just don't even see it anymore. It's just a part of her. They don't even look at it.
Something I was thinking about was like grandparents because but that'd be hard because grandparents would hate the idea of a tattoo, but all they want is a child. So I guess that'd be pretty hard to
at a certain age.
that
I mean, it's like if
comparison.
you're 16, they will not want that tattoo. They won't that tattoo.
They will always resent that tattoo.
You're the little mistake, aren't you, little tattoo? You're the little tattoo mistake, aren't you?
Yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to do something like that, just like contrasting like how different things were the last time that I was on stage, and then leading into having a kid. And then okay. Cool. So then basically the premise is people think that kids will ruin your life. The joke I told on stage last time was that if we had kids, it would ruin our lives. But I didn't know anything, and now 2.5 years later, 2 kids later, now I know that I was absolutely right.
I'm like, you having the palm of your hand on that one.
And they'd be like, kids do ruin your life. Absolutely. But in a cool way, like in the same way that tattoos ruin your life. You know what I mean?
Great.
Like, yeah, all right, they're permanent, but I chose to get it when I was 3 glasses of wine deep, and then going through all that, and then being like, not to mention my wife's arm, and then going back to the premise, kids do ruin your life. They do. And if anyone's upset at me for saying that, do a little research. Ask a parent, what's so great about having a kid? What are they going to say? They're going to say, Can't explain it. It's just so great. Do you know what they're very good at explaining? All the worst parts of having children. Like, I'm not a data scientist, but if you're looking for the correct answer, you should probably look for the most evidence. Like, whichever site has the most evidence, that's the correct answer. Like, and then saying, yeah, kids, they will ruin your life. They'll ruin your life. But I feel like there's a lot of people who should have their lives ruined. Like, if you're watching Game of Thrones all the way through for the third time, if you have a YouTube channel about NFTs, actually, if you own an NFT,
time to get a tattoo.
Yeah,
buddy.
you should probably get your world rocked a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I would love to, I don't know if I doubt I'll be able to do it for this first show, but being like, yeah, they ruin your life. And then doing, so opening with that, going into other stuff, because then I have the bit about, there is the show on TV where this family has 18 kids.
Oh,
and they're still counting because there might be more kids. The show's called Hoarders.
Yes.
And then go into, why are we having 18 kids? Who needs 18 kids? Are we on the Oregon Trail? Is it pioneer times? Do you need to keep your lineage going? There's no other reason to have 18 kids. And then talk about, like, the only people who have 18 kids, it's not the people who are like, I want to make sure that my family has this strong, like, legacy, and I leave my mark on the world. No, it's just some guy named John who hates wearing condoms but loves naming stuff. And
That's one of my favorite.
And then it goes into like the Winco or the moms of Walmart.
Yeah.
And it's like the shopping cart chain gang, blah, blah, blah. So it goes to that whole thing. And then I want to go into other jokes. Then I'm going to go into the half black stuff, blah, blah, blah,
Sick.
blacker face. But then I would love to, and I don't have this joke written yet, but I would love to then go into a joke about my daughter. And I don't know if it's going to be like the Google Calendar one where it's like I compared my Google Calendar with hers and she doesn't have anything to do and she's fine. And then I would love to end with, and I'm so glad that my daughter ruined my life.
Yes.
You know, like something
Totally.
like that. That's
That
just
would-
like
yeah, that'd
really
be a
sweet.
A very
finish.
sweet, cool ending.
Something sentimental, you know?
Yeah. No, I actually freaking love that.
Yeah.
The one thought I had was while back when you were talking is comparing kids to just quick little. This is really little, but just like you can't have the same jobs. Like it's like oh that's you can't have the same job. Like job interviews. are
Oh my
different.
goodness, yes.
Just like,
because
even
I was
playing-
thinking that exact same thing.
Thinking of a couple more like just bullet point. You know how much I love bullet points, but just
why tattoos?
like
and kids
comparison.
are- okay,
I think that's just a fun playground. Like this
Can't interview
this,
for the
this,
same jobs.
This.
Yeah.
It's like a. Like if you could bring like a tramp stamp into it somehow, it's like, especially if you're not married, it's like, you have one of those? You know, like, oh, I didn't know you had a tramp stamp. Wow, this changes things a little bit.
It's like proof you had some sex you probably shouldn't have had.
Exactly. That's great. Yeah.
Sexual experience that went a little further than you wanted it to.
I'm very excited to hear the set. I'm very excited for our show.
Yeah,
Boy, that's going to be sick.
I know. We have.
You know, is it like 4 weeks?
It's a solid 5. March is a long month.
Oh my God, this is right.
5 weeks.
Yeah, it's today's the 2nd. We're recording on March.
Technically, right now for me, it's the 3rd.
Ooh. Oh wow, really? Oh wow, it's 9:15.
Oh, for you, yeah. Holy
Pacific.
cow! How is this a 2-hour podcast?
Yeah, it's everything it needs to be.
Absolutely.
But yeah, excited for the show.
Oh my gosh.
Excited to actually try these out in real time. You will be coming to the open mic with me next Wednesday.
Absolutely. That was the
No
thing.
more skipsies.
It was okay. Can I
No more
I have no
skipsies.
justification. This is what I'm going to give you. I was working just different work.
Oh.
I just didn't. No, that sounds.
I took it.
That sounds weird. Well, when you say "ooh" and then Mitch makes that face, no, not that kind of work. Good God. I was working the streets as a male prostitute, guys.
Nothing weird.
Oh, come on.
It wasn't weird. You guys are making it weird. No, I was selling my body for money.
On Lake Boulevard in Redding, California. Near the Hardys. It's not weird. Don't make it that.
Come see me at 2 a.m.
Gosh, guys,
It's not weird.
I spin signs in the day, and I
spin a little something else at night.
skid, and I wear.
There's a reason I picked Hardee's to dance
No, but
next to.
I didn't want to go by myself. That is the honest truth, and I also had no material. Like I had no material to go stretch. So I was like, I'm not gonna do this for myself right now. So
I feel you. I ascertained from the lack of text back.
yeah, Because you said, Evan, you going? I did not.
Yeah.
I never
It's like, oh,
responded.
Evan's not going.
Evan's not going. Evan is.
I got all the answers I needed.
He is. He's watching Frasier tonight. My favorite sitcom is Frasier. 100%.
Well, I feel good about wrapping it up. If you guys do,
let's do it. I love that.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening to Unpaid Regulars. If you are listening, if you're not listening, then no thanks.
Yeah.
Then get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
We're just talking shit about you because you don't even know.
Because you're not even gonna hear it.
Because you're not even here. If you come back and listen later, they were talking shit about me. Yeah, we were. Because you weren't there.
It's that friend who's like, guys, guess I just started listening to your podcast. Like, oh no.
Oh God.
We thought you would never, so we talked so much shit about
I think I used your name.
I used your full name. First, middle, and last.
Social security and everything.
I was really offended by you.
We told everyone that your debit card PIN was loot.
Call back.
And with that, we're signing off. I'm Trey Ellis.
I'm Evan Pearson. I'm so sorry,
God,
Mitch.
guys.
I wanted you to end it. I wanted you to end
Yeah,
it.
there's no. Okay, so we're gonna go Trey, Evan, me.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted you to end it. Yeah.
I'm Trey Ellis.
I'm Evan Pearson.
And I'm Mitchell Mack.
You've been listening to Unpaid Regulars. We will see you next week.